run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to everybody watching. This is Run It Back. My name is Michelle Beadle. Look at this. Stadium insider Shams Charania, Chandler P, Lou Will on the end. Guys, history was made last night. The worst possible kind of history that you can make. There it is. The Pistons, 27 straight losses. Look, Cade Cunningham, he had 41 points. He's doing everything he can, but they lose to the Nets. Doesn't seem to matter. 118, 112, but we're going to concentrate on the historic moment of the evening, Chandler. You know, I'm sure there are a million questions being asked in and around the Pistons organization right now. You got to blame fault at some point. Whose is it? Is it the players? Is it the coach? Is it the owners? Who are we looking at this point?
Well, listen, the players are the ones playing, right? They're the ones that are not giving the effort. They're the ones not making the shots. These are the players that should be the most embarrassed, right? This is 2 months of straight losing. I gotta imagine it's an absolute nightmare. It's abysmal to go to work, to go to the facility every single day. This is tough. Now, to have this stretch for this long, to not make a move in the front office is also kind of mind-boggling. I mean, I think Troy Weaver's probably a good guy. He's got to go. You can't assemble this team and lose 27 straight games. You're not going to fire Monty Williams just yet with that contract that he got. You can't get rid of him. But when you look at the construction of this team, it just doesn't make sense. There's one shooter on the whole team, Bogdanovic. He doesn't even belong on this team. There's one really good player that you can build with, and that's Cade Cunningham. After that, it's really bad, and everybody should be up for grabs because there's some players on here that other teams could use. But when you have a streak like this, it falls on everybody. Everybody has to take accountability. Everybody has to have everyone has to change, right? Whether that's Monty Williams changing up the rotations or starting lineups, which he's tried, but to me, that Troy Weaver, they got to fire. They need a fresh start. Everyone's probably just going at each other's neck all day long today, all pointing the fingers. It's a dumpster fire, but I'd start with the GM because Monty Williams didn't put this team together. He just took the bag they gave him. Troy Weaver's got to go.
I mean, $80 million deal. Yeah, you're right. You're not going to fire him right away. Plus, everybody loves him. I mean, this is just such a crappy situation. Lou, is this the worst team in NBA history?
It looked like it. I was in the league when that Cleveland Cavaliers team, after LeBron was struggling like this, and they set a record for losses as well. And so to me, that was pretty bad. That was something that I experienced. That was something that I kind of giggled at when we played that team. And so this looks bad, and I think everybody needs to be held accountable for this, including Monty. Even though he didn't assemble this team, that bag should be worth a couple of more wins coaching-wise than what they're putting out there. They got a young group of guys. Like Chandler mentioned, Bogdanovic shouldn't be on that basketball team. No vet should be on that team at this point. Everybody should have their agents on the phone trying to get out of town, get out of that situation. But it's bad from top to bottom. There has to be some accountability at this point.
You know what? I want to ask about that because you guys are, we always say like, oh, just rip it up and start over, rip it up and start over. It sounds pretty easy to do, but is there a stink on the players on this team? Or do other teams look at them individually and say, no, there is value here. This is just a bad situation, Chandler?
Well, you know who's valuable, right?
But who is?
You would take Bogdanovic. You'd take Jalen Durant. You'd go for Cade Cunningham. There's players on this team, but then there's also 7 players that aren't really NBA players, and that this is going to be a career killer. You look at Kevin Knox. This is his last chance. James Wiseman, and he's even playing good. Killian Hayes. I mean, there's certain players on this team that this is going to stick with them for the rest of their career, and it's unfortunate because, again, a lot of time NBA, it's about your opportunity. Everyone on this team has gotten their opportunity, and not one of these groups of 5 that they throw out there have gotten a win. So this is going to stick with them for a while. And again, like Lou said, this Cavs team in the back of the day was bad. When I came in, there was a team in Philly that was atrocious. It's interesting because this team, again, they do have like 5 to 7 pieces. They do have Cade Cunningham, who again, I embarrassingly loved in the beginning of the season.
No, it's not
Lou,
embarrassing. That's not
I'm
embarrassing.
not gonna let
Yeah,
Lou off the
we
hook.
were high on
Lou did
the
say
young
this team was
kid.
gonna make the playoffs.
I did say that.
That's my
But-
favorite part of everything we've done.
And here's the problem, Michelle. They're gonna get the number 1 pick. They better trade that the minute they get it, because that kid's gonna go back to college and he's not gonna want to go to this place. They're not going to get anybody in free agency, so they have to draft well, which they haven't thus far. Their owner, Tom Gores, is a nice guy, but he's a maniac. He's a Malibu guy. I don't know how much hands-on he is. So if I'm him, I'm in Detroit right now, and I'm figuring this out, and I'm going straight Ari Gold with a Nerf gun, shooting everybody today, because this is embarrassing and this is pathetic.
Hold on, I have 2 things. First of all, has there ever been a less tough sentence than he's a Malibu guy? Number 1, I just want to throw that out there. And number 2, Monty Williams is loved. I worry, though, is this doing anything to his reputation as a good, great coach? Is that something that we should be worried about here, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everybody has to be held accountable for this. If I give you $80 million, I expect some type of give back from that, and 2-28, I've never seen him be a part of that. He's a highly respected, highly loved, highly liked coach around the league. I've never found anybody to say anything negative about this guy. Everybody loves him. One of my dear friends is part of his coaching staff, and Jared Jack, and these are good guys. These are good quality guys that know basketball. I don't know what's going wrong here, but everybody has to be held accountable and everybody has to be looked at this point. If I just have to be a decent basketball team, I got to look at my front office, I got to look at my coaching staff, and I got to look at the personnel that I'm putting out on the basketball floor. And so this may be a stain for Coach Williams.
And here's the good thing for Monty Williams is he's got the resume, right? He's got the respect, like you're saying, Michelle, where this isn't going to really alter him. But if this was Jamal Mosley, if this was Chris Finch, if this was Fizdale, this is their one shot to become a head coach, and that would stick with those guys. This would stick with JB Bickerstaff. This would stick with Lloyd Pierce, guys that don't have this backing that Monty Williams has. So I think he's safe, obviously, with this contract and with his reputation and everything. But coaching's a fickle job, man. Like Dave Fizdale was one of my favorite coaches ever. He got some shitty spots in New York. He took over a team in Memphis at the end of grit and grind, and he's just done. He'll never be a head coach again. So Monty's lucky from that aspect.
I love Fizz. Shams, you heard him. There might be 1 piece. There might be 3 pieces. There might be 5 to 7 pieces. Who the hell knows with this Pistons team? How is there a way to improve this roster?
Well, I think right now, the roster that's constructed, the one saving grace is for sure Cade Cunningham. 2 games in the last 4 with 40-plus points. You can look at him and the accountability that he's playing with. You see one guy on that team that's upset after losses. He's like, you can tell by his face, he doesn't like it. And all those guys are accustomed to losing at this point in the season. I'm told after the game last night, Cade Cunningham addressed the team. He's been addressing the team more the last couple weeks, but he was a lot more passionate last night, and I think it was only a sign of things to come. I think Chandler said the other day, like, at this point, guys have to, it gets uncomfortable. When you lose this much, when you come to work for 2 straight months and you lose. He's 22 years old. He needs shooting around him, spacing around him. They don't have that requisite roster. And Tom Gores, their owner, he wants changes. He wants them to make moves. They're going to evaluate everything from the front office to the roster. I think at this point, everyone but Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren have to be up for grabs. When you think about guys like Bojan Bogdanovic, Monte Morris, they have value around the league. What could the Pistons get for them in a trade? The Pistons do want a 4-man in free agency. They're going to be active. They have 50 to 60 million in cap space next summer. I'm told some names to keep an eye on: Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Tobias Harris, as well as Miles Bridges. And so this is 27 games and counting. They can try to go make a trade right now, but at this point, nothing is changing their season in the trajectory that they're on.
4-man, they need a 3-man, a 2-man, a 5-man. They need
all the men.
The fact that they have a priority in free agency is shocking because they need everything, bro. This is ridiculous.
I Okay, the Cade Cunningham. But first of all, just the idea that he keeps talking to the team that's frustrating to even hear about, because how many times can you do it before you just shut down? And he's only 22 years old, Lou. Like, I worry about his growth. Are we going to see a star that sort of fizzles out before we even get to see what he's capable of in the league? What happens to Cunningham here?
I mean, he's part of it. I don't want to separate him from the bunch. You know, he's part of it. And this is called responsibility. When they make you the face of a franchise, when they say that you're the best player, that talent should be worth a couple of more games than 2 and 28. And so I don't want to let him off the hook and say this is going to stunt his growth. This is very much a part of his responsibility as well as anybody else's. And so he can continue to give out speeches. He can continue to play at a high clip until it translates into wins. Doesn't really matter. So does it stunt his growth? Sure, but he's also a part of this process as well.
Yeah, and my first thing I'm doing, I'm getting this guy shooting, right? When you watch them play, he's got a crazy game, right? So it's again, he is part of the problem, but he's a 6'7" point guard that sees the floor. Like, he is an absolute stud. The team just doesn't make sense. It reminds me of that Laker team at the beginning of last year. There's nowhere for him to go. They clog up. They go too big sometimes. The rotations are horrible. You got to get this guy before it does stunt his growth. You got to get him shooting, and you got to get some vets, because there's no way with solid vets in this locker room there wouldn't at least be, some sort of altercations. I'm surprised there hasn't been a fist fight in this locker room, especially with Isaiah Stewart, with this many losses in a row, right? So as bad as they are on the court, which they're historically bad, there's got to be some sort of leadership behind the scenes where it's like, all right, guys, enough is enough. This is bogus.
Well, next 2 games are Celtics, Raptors. So we'll keep our eye on that to see if this thing and counting keeps going.
2 and 30.
All right, moving.
Hell.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go down the rest of the schedule.
It could be losing for a
yesterday
while,
we were at
Michelle.
31. It's going to be rough. Somebody's got to lose.
And then watch, they're going to get the 4th pick.
I know. It's ridiculous. All right, don't look now, y'all. Grizzlies comeback win in overtime. Pelicans, they were down 15 late in the 3rd. It's the 4th straight for the Grizzlies since Jog came back. He had 31, 7, and 5. Desmond Bane threw in 27. Zion had 23 and 11, but there are 0.4 seconds left. Want to concentrate on that part. Left in regulation. Grizzlies are down 1. There is a foul called on the inbounds alley-oop. Jaren Jackson Jr. He makes one of the free throws. That's what gets us to overtime. Of course, I'm going to start here, Chandler. Should this have been a swallow the whistle moment, or are we good with it?
I think you got to swallow the whistle here. I don't think you can reward somebody, first of all, that's just backing up, that's not jumping with him, that almost doesn't even push him up. When you watch the replay, sure, is it a foul? Yeah, I mean, he kind of backs up into him as if he's boxing out, and it's a great play design here, and it was a great pass on the inbounds, but let the guys decide the game. This was kind of weak to me. Again, it's not like they were body to body. He was literally just kind of backing up, and Jaren kind of jumps again towards him. It could have went either way. It's definitely a foul, but I'd like to see them just swallow the whistle here with this magnitude.
Chandler, was it a foul or not? You said it was a foul.
It was a foul, but
That's a foul.
if you rewatch every single play, every possession, there's a foul. There's an illegal screen. There's something. Like,
for the game. If you on the Memphis Grizzlies for the game, you want your 2 free throws right there. That was a foul. JV got to be aware where he is. He got caught slipping. He took a step up and realized that the play was coming. It's 0.4. It's either going to be a lob or it's going to be a quick shot in the corner. We've played basketball. We know where the shot is going to go. He got caught slipping. And for whatever, it looked like a pass interference, like football. If you don't make a play on a basketball, you're not aware of where the player is. You're putting yourself in that risk to get called a foul. And I thought that's what he did. It was a foul.
He missed those pass interference calls way too much too, by the way. But yeah, the 0.4, you know it's going to be a tip or something at the rim too. I have a bigger problem with their defense. Like, just keep Jonas at the rim and not even allow.
That's what I'm saying.
Situation.
That's what I'm saying. He was there, but he took a step up. He was there, but he took a step up and put him at risk to get that foul call, man. But listen, somebody called Buffalo Wild Wings. I was entertained that it went to overtime. It was a good basketball game, but for that play right there in particular, JV know better, man. He got caught slipping. That's a foul.
I like this. This was a test. One of you likes rules.
And I hate that I'm even agreeing with referee type stuff.
I know. I'm like, wow, Lou is like
That's how
on the
you
red
know
line.
we're retired. That's how you know we're retired. We're agreeing with them.
Like that was a crazy moment. All right. So the Jaw thing, right? He's been back and they've won every game. They're 4-0 since he's gotten back. There were points of last season where we talked about how valuable players are to their teams. We obviously know the Jokic's of the world. But I mean, we know what this team looks like without him. And now we know what they look like with him. Is there a player more integral to the success of his team than Ja Morant? Chandler.
You look across, like Luka, with the Mavs without Luka, they're not very good. Jokic, obviously, we know how important with him. Embiid, you can go down the list of these star players that are very important. But with this small sample size of 4 games, the turnaround that we're seeing, this is a completely different looking team. The way they're playing fast, efficient, getting to the free throw line. They are basically giving him the ball and letting him go to work and transition and pick and roll. And he's just picking defenses apart. So I think when you have someone like this out for that amount of time, not only is it your best player that's coming back that's going to help you on the court, this is just a breath of fresh air where everybody can kind of relax. Desmond Bane can now go back to being an off-ball guard that's getting wide open looks because someone like Ja Morant is setting him up for easy looks. Same thing for Jaren Jackson. Same thing for all these other guys that now the game is just easier when you play with a superstar like that for obvious reasons. So from that standpoint, no, he's been unbelievable in his return. Super impressed with his energy and with his cardio and the way he's playing. And look, this team was a laughing stock for these first games. And again, that falls on Ja Morant too. He put this franchise in this situation that they're in right now. So the only thing he has to do is exactly what he's doing and leave it all out there every single night, dominate games, and just try and keep getting win by win by win and somehow be fully healthy and sneak into that play-in. Then who knows? Then everybody can forgive him for putting this team in the situation. But as far as he's playing right now, he's rolling, and he's obviously he's everything to this team, because this is not the same team I watched the first 2 months of the season.
No, it's like they've started their season now. But Lou, you know what's coming next? The celebration. Let's take a look at Ja's celebration. Boop, 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 boop. There's the lob. There's the fun. We love it. Games won. Now what? Huh? Internet, obviously.
He got a cannon too. That was he got a rocket launcher too.
What is happening? Dude, why am I laughing? Why am I laughing, Lou?
Man, because it's silly at this point. It's silly. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Stop playing with fire. We are paying attention. We are watching. You guys are 3-0 before that celebration. You guys were 3-0. So you have everybody watching. The world is watching. Your fans are watching. The NBA is watching. Don't do anything that got anything with any kind of arms, my brother. Stop it. Not only did you shoot the gun, you had a bazooka ready to go too. You got to relax, man. You got to relax. We are watching, and every single little thing you do in the name of this type of stuff will be scrutinized. And you have to know that. Your circle has to know that. The organization has to know that. As much fun as he was having last night, I guarantee somebody checked this last night on that organization. You can't do this, man. You can't afford it. At this point, you have no more leverage. You have no more, nobody's giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. Any of these type of things is going to be problematic, bro. Chill out and just keep hooping, keep winning.
I mean, look, he said it was like an LSU celebration, which I don't know, Chandler. I feel like, that kid, and I feel like I was this kid, where you get in trouble. And so you come back from being in trouble and you walk right up to the line that maybe your parents or teachers put in place, and you touch the line. You're like, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. It feels like that's what he's doing, which makes me think, was anything learned? That's what I'm concerned about here.
Yeah, that's the issue. And we're laughing because it's so shocking that we're even talking about him doing possibly the slightest thing gun related at this point, everything he's done. And you can see he almost catches himself and then he kind of turns into something else. Oh. It's ridiculous. But again, you got to grow up. Why are we talking about this? Your team is 4-0. You've been unbelievable. You've now been probably forgiven to a certain point, especially in Memphis, right? Like the team is back to being yours. You're playing at an elite level. Why are you giving us anything like this to even talk about, to discuss? That's negative. Why is your father doing interviews talking about how you didn't make any changes in your personal life and your issues, sitting courtside with his hood and glasses on? It's like, what else has to happen for you and your family and your friends to learn? Like, just make this about basketball, make this about your life, make this about your livelihood, and stop doing things like this, because you're must-see TV on the court. You are unbelievable. You are, besides Anthony Edwards, you are my favorite player to watch. Don't give us any of this other bullshit to talk about. Just be a star.
Yeah, what Chandler said, because it is fun to watch. And you know what? In all of this, Marcus Smart was back, Shams, and we're sitting here talking about a stupid celebration. Talk to me about the impact of Smart's return.
You talk about a guy that can play with any superstar, and his game gets better. You see his game magnified more when he's playing with star players in Boston, when he played with IT, when he played with Kyrie, when he played with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart's impact shows more and more when he plays with star players. And a lot of players, you could say the same. But with Marcus Smart, his ability to just make their lives easier. 13 points in the second half last night, all 13 points in the second half. Team high +9. He has that charge late in the game. He has the assist for the lob dunk on that play to Ja Morant. Leadership, intangibles, those are all things Marcus Smart brings. Things that not many players around Ja Morant have done in Memphis. And I think now that you have Marcus Smart healthy, back in the lineup, I think Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, their core, this team can definitely, like Chandler said, they can make a run in the playoffs. And a lot of that has to do with Ja Morant, but also the supporting cast and what Zach Kleiman has done to support and put the pieces around Ja Morant.
Plus 340 to make the playoffs. I feel like that might be an easy money moment. All right, I'll do that after the show. I'll do it after the show or during the break. We talk so much on the other side of things about Zion, and rightfully so, deserves to. But Brandon Ingram right now seems to be the hot guy. He's doing it all. Is it possible that you can have a Batman and Robin switcheroony? Like, are we looking at something like that right now, CP?
I mean, look, I think Zion's the face, right? He's the most popular. He's the electric player, the number one pick that everyone wants to see every single night, right? It's his team. But when you look at Brandon Ingram, you look at CJ McCollum, this is a great core that they have going forward. It's just whether it's the same thing every day. It's health, it's consistency, it's Zion's work ethic, it's his weight. Everyone wants to bring up anything so personal in this guy's life just to nitpick him. Fact of the matter is, he had 23 and 11 last night. He played good. He was 7 of 17 from the field. He was 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Zion Williamson played really good last night. They just have to do it more. They have to do it more consistently. And at any given night, it's going to be one of these three guys' nights where CJ McCollum can go and have 40. Brandon Ingram's got the hot hand. He's the one with the ball at the end of the game. So it's a nice luxury to have when you have three guys like this, and then you have that deep, solid bench that they do. But we just want to see it more often for them to become a real contender and a real threat.
Moving on, y'all. Hot team. Check them out. All right, Oklahoma City Thunder. It was a big win. Beat the Timberwolves and very easily. 129-106. SGA, big story of the night. 4 Thunder starters had 20 or more points. SGA with 34, 9 and 6. Holmgren had 24 and 5. And of course, Chandler's favorite guy to watch, Anthony Edwards, with 25, 7 and 6. He's good. That's an understatement. He's scored 30 or more in 12 of his last 14 games. So much has been talked about last week about the best player on a championship team. What does that look like? Does he look like one of those guys, CP?
Yeah, and I didn't think so in the beginning of the season. I thought he was just another really good guard that needed a lot more to have a championship team. But this kid, he can do it all. He's tall, he's long, he gets out, he's athletic, he makes crazy shots. The separation he has kind of in his mid-range game is super, super elite. He can get to the rim, and he makes everyone better. Look at this starting five with Williams, Dort, Holmgren. They all had 20. Like, it's unbelievable how balanced this team is. I love their bench. I love Isaiah Joe. No one ever talks about Isaiah Joe. He's got an absolute cannon. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA. And they just assembled this like young, fun, fresh team that's just like not having to rebuild, but just is continuing to win games and get better. They stack up all these assets, all these picks. If I'm a team, and this, by the way, this isn't a great market. This isn't a great city. But so if I'm a team like Detroit, I'm following this. I'm hiring their assistant GM. I'm hiring someone on that front office because this is the blueprint. This is the format of what a kind of a rebuild to a championship contending team looks like, whether it's from the draft or for via trade or whatever. The Thunder have figured it out. So I love this team. I loved how balanced they are. Any given night, they got one of these young stars that can go off. Chet is unbelievable. So, yeah, SGA is the head of the snake, and I think you put him on a lot of teams this year, and it makes him a contender.
Shams, look, this was a process that was long in the making. You have to be patient for something that like this to pay off. Tell me what you see when you see this Thunder squad.
I see patience, and like Chandler said, a lot of his identification. They go and trade for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's panned out. Lou's been hyping up his man all year. He's an absolute star. So you begin with the development of Shai Alexander. You take his game to the next level under your program, and then you just draft right. Chet Holmgren, I think the 1 year that he got to spend, yes, he's a rookie, but he got to spend all of last season. He was around the team. It's not like he was a rookie. You just stashed away, didn't pay much mind to. He was around for the practice. He was around for the shoot-arounds. He got to go through the ups and downs, traveling with the team. He was doing a lot of stuff second half of the season where if this was a team that was on the cusp of contending for a playoff berth or a championship or something like that, he could have come back. But Chet Holmgren, they took the patient route. And right now he looks like probably the rookie of the year favorite. He looks like a guy that's, could be under all-star consideration. And Jalen Williams, he might be the glue. He might be the guy that can really take this team into a whole nother level if he continues to mature his game. 8-1 this season, the Thunder are when he scores 20 points or more. So when he's dialed in, when he's scoring the ball at a high level, this team is dangerous and potentially could have a real legitimate big three when you think about how young all of these guys are.
We're not getting through this segment without Lou talking about SGA because that was your guy. I mean, as much as you talked about Cade Cunningham, you also talked about SGA when we started the show this season. So right now, and I don't want to mess this up, leading the league in unassisted two-pointers, the Thunder itself, third in the NBA in three-point shooting percentage. Offensively, do we talk enough about them and how strong their offense is?
No, I think they're getting the attention that's deserved. Honestly, it's a little problematic for me, to lead in unassisted two-point field goals and to be third in three-point percentage. To me, those sound like things that can be guarded in the playoffs. You got to get the ball moving a little bit more. Sounds like he's playing a lot of ISO basketball and having to do a lot off of the dribble. And you got to rely on three-point shooting as well to be successful for this basketball team. And so, come playoff time, those are going to be some of the things that teams are going to want to take away and make games difficult for them. And so right now we're having success. I think they got to get that ball moving a little bit more for them to turn that corner and be a realistic threat for games to come in the future.
I don't know if this next question is premature. They're at plus 1,300 right now. But, Chandler, I'll start with you. Oklahoma City Thunder as contenders coming out of the West. Maybe?
I don't see it this year. No. Yeah, they're too young. They're on the right path. So this isn't even like a knock on them because they're going to get there. Whether it's next year, 2 years from now, they're on their way with this core. I just think when you look across the West, you look at the experience that they're going to have to go through with the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets. These teams have been there before. It's clockwork for those teams. So I think they're going to be a tough out. You're not going to want to play this team. But like Lou said, in the playoffs, when everything gets slowed down, everything's half-court offense, you can keen in on ISO basketball. You don't want to bank on mid-range jumpers falling at a high clip in the postseason. So I think they can adapt. I think they can change the way they play a little bit, depending on who they play. But they're on the way. I just don't think they're going to really contend this year.
All right, those are positive. Those are positive answers. Lou, here's a good one for you. Who would you rather build around, SGA and Chet or Ant and Cat?
It's a pretty good question.
Tough one.
I'll say SGA and Chet, just based on how young those guys are. You got more time to build around them. You have a bigger window to make something happen with that. And so, Cat, I'm not sure what year Cat is in, but he might be in year 9 to 10, getting to the second half of his career. Ant-Man is obviously just getting started in year 3 or year 4, if I'm not mistaken. But, these other guys, they got a bigger window to make some things happen. So I'll just go with SGA and Chet.
I know Cat was the reason you guys picked that. Be honest, Chandler. Is Cat the weakest link?
Of those, I mean, yeah.
No.
Okay, there you go. That's it.
But-
Lou.
To win a game right now tonight, I'm taking Cat over Chet. But when I'm talking about a duo which is funny because they just got waxed last night.
I was gonna say they just lost by 23.
But a duo going forward, there's not many I'm taking over Chet SGA at this point.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to make sure. I don't know why I needed to slander anybody.
He's not the weakest
Not
link,
bad.
but he's the oldest link.
Okay, oldest link, weakest link, whatever. We're taking a quick break, and when we come back, Shams scoops, and that man has a family.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Is this real? Okay, I'm going for it. Shams, no one was talking to me. Shams, we got scoop time. It's the Bulls. They don't have any room for any big mistakes, and it looks like now they're out without Vucevic for a minute. What happened?
Yeah, Nikola Vucevic has a groin strain, and I'm told he's going to be sidelined for at least the next 7 to 10 days. Like you said, Michelle, this is a team without Zach LaVine right now. They've had several different injury woes. Torrey Craig also out for the foreseeable future. Now Nikola Vucevic, you hope with this groin strain over the next 7 to 10 days, he's able to get right, get back on the court. Definitely a significant loss. He's been, out of all their guys, very, very durable. Played all 82 games last season. Last night, missed his first game all year. He's averaging 19 points, 11 rebounds over his last 10 games. But listen, last night, Andre Drummond, 24 points, 25 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was a starter for them at center. And the numbers that he's put up last night, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Roy Tarpley, Chris Webber, Dwight Howard, that's the group that he joined. So they won 9 of the last 13. They're going to have to do it without Vucevic, at least for the next week or so.
All right, that's a big one. It obviously changes the rotation a little bit. You heard about Drummond there. Who else steps up in his absence, Lou? What are you seeing?
It got to be Kobe White. You know, Kobe White has to be the guy that's going to be, you know, the Robin to DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan is going to wake up. He's going to have 20 to 25 points a game. That's just who he is. But Kobe White, you know, the NBA is about situation and about opportunity. You know, he was a highly drafted guy, and then boom, you bring in 2 all-star caliber guys, and you kind of get pushed to the back of the bus. And so now this is an opportunity for him to show and prove his worth with this organization and this team and his teammates and going forward. And another guy that we got to mention, Alex Caruso, got to play better for this group now that he's going to have an opportunity to play big-time minutes as well. So they still have the talent and the guys that can keep this ship going in a positive direction. They just got to step up and do it at this point.
Such a weird season for the Bulls of the way it started. Now you've got injuries. They seem to be doing something together. Successful season for this team, Chandler, when it's all said and done. What does that look like?
I mean, if they don't make any moves, then it's to get into the play-in playoffs and you know, hopefully survive in advance. But when you look at this team, I look at Patrick Williams, man. This is fourth year, I think, and this was a top 5 NBA draft pick who, at this point now, this should be his team, right? They should be so comfortable to be trading Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan because they have this guy. And it's just not. He disappears. He's 2 for 7, 6 points. This happens too much. And he's got all the intangibles when he's coming out. This guy's got a Kawhi Leonard type guy. You know, Scotty Barnes, he can defend, he can score. He's big and strong. And he just hasn't panned out to what they thought he would be coming out of Florida State with the, you know, the 4th pick in the draft. So this to me is a golden opportunity for him. Your guys are out. Everyone's on the trading block. You're one of the young pieces that they don't really want to give up yet. This is to me where he steps up and he can be that breath of fresh air and give them that just sigh of relief. So yeah, Zach LaVine, we can move off from him because we have this guy moving forward. And they for whatever reason, system or style of play, he hasn't given them that vote of confidence yet. So like, is this team a contender? No chance, no, not even close. But they do have the experience, they do have the vets, they do have the team to go and be a tough out in a playoff series. But they've been trying. I thought they were going to trade everybody last year. Now it's this offseason, and it's this year. It's like pull the plug already.
So help me, Shams. If we get to the trade deadline and the Bulls and Raptors do nothing, I don't know what I'm capable of doing. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the one guy that we can say for a fact is they're trying, they're going to try to work on a deal with Zach LaVine. Now, if the deal doesn't happen, he's owed, I think, 3 years, $140 million the next 3 years. Like, that contract is a significant number for any team. So it won't be for lack of trying. Now, guys like DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, those guys I'm less sure of because this team is playing better. They're competing for at least a play-in playoff berth right now.
Shams,
By the way,
love you. Oh,
This team is better off not making the playoffs, Shams, and then going and getting lucky and getting a Lively with the 10th pick or something like that. You know what I mean? They're not going to contend, they're not going to win. Blow it up and prepare for the future, man.
deja.
It might end up higher than the Pistons in the lottery. You never know.
Whoa, God, that would suck for Detroit. All right, Shams, we will see you
Impossible.
bright and early tomorrow. I know. Well, you never know. See you tomorrow. Right now, time for That Man Has a Family. We're gonna start things off with Rui. Let's see. Smaller bell.
Hey, little sneak dunk.
Okay. It's over Porzingis. Can't hate that.
Zingis didn't even try and block him here. He knew he knew he had him.
All right, I like that one.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Just love
I'm digging the black mask though.
Michael Porter Jr. Giving you a little bit of everything here.
This cannot say. Oh, I was gonna say that should not be said. Yeah, a 2 feet 2 hand is always it's a little more disrespectful.
A little bit more. All right, fair enough. Derrick Jones Jr. Let's see.
This is crazy off the right foot. Oh no, left foot.
Yeah, I like
left
that one.
hand.
Hey,
That was a great one.
now that's impressive. The first
way,
two
it
were
was-
all right. Now that's impressive.
There was
Off
a
the
sound.
wrong foot, wrong hand.
This dunk when watching
Shout out
a
to
different
Philly.
sound than usual. This kid's
Yeah.
boosting.
Well, it was the late game after a day of sports. Like, it was like you'd moved it
Yeah.
there. Malik Monk.
Yikes!
Now that's a dunk right there. 6th man of the year.
Goodness. Oh, that's dumb.
Oh
Okay.
my.
That's
Yeah, I
insane.
like that.
Yeah.
I would carry that around with me as a video. Show everybody. Jonathan Isaac.
We like
Good
this
ones
one
in it.
again.
Run this one back. It's so good.
These are good ones. Sometimes there's some and this one is no. Holmgren. He's got to do that.
No,
Oh, we getting tricky.
he don't. I saw. You know, it's funny. They asked him about this after the game too, and I loved his answer. They're like, why'd you do this?" And he was just like, "Honestly, I have no clue. It just happened. It wasn't planned. It wasn't prepared." But he went straight T-Mac in the All-Star game here in a real game against a really good defensive team. That's how confident.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it possible, like, as a player, that you guys black out for a split second and then he does something like this? And he's like, I don't even know what I was doing.
1000%. But Luke, does he get a rebound and an assist here and a missed
He get
shot?
everything.
It-
I think he get everything but the assist. Other than that, there's the rebound. It's a missed shot.
Should
Yep,
get the
rebound
assist.
and bucket.
All right.
Oh no, this is
Rajon
crazy. Look at this.
Tucker.
Look
No,
at this.
ma'am.
Oh my God.
Where is this?
My God.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't even know.
Where is this?
Look at this
Alan
dude
Pole.
broke.
I don't
This dude
even.
bro-
Oh,
This dude
man.
broke his tailbone.
He
on
set
the way-
himself up. Look.
Ah,
Oh, my.
He
Is
set
this in
himself
Spain,
up.
Italy? Where is this?
It looked like the Dominican Republic to me.
This-
I don't know.
this is gonna be his Pistons players next year. I'll tell you that.
Get your passports ready.
Yeah, get him
Stuff to
stamped.
do.
Yeah, Ray John.
That one's a good one. I like that. That should be played everywhere. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to fill the lanes. Run it back return.
Goodness gracious.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
We're going to fill the lanes. It's kind of like Mad Libs for basketball. The sentence for Chandler to kick things off is the Pistons' next win will come against. And there's this.
Pistons' next win will come. Ooh. The Pistons' next win. Oh my God. I mean,
I don't
Toronto.
like it.
You know what? Toronto at home book it. It ain't coming at Boston. It's not coming on the road. They stink. It's not coming against Toronto at home. 2 games. 2 games.
No way. No way.
Okay.
I think Utah. Put me down for Utah. Oh no, Utah's hard to play there though. Yeah, I don't know. Lou's
Here's the
laughing.
thing,
I don't
if
even.
it's against another team that stinks, it's not going to be against another team that stinks because they're not. They're going to play hard. It's gonna be against a solid team.
This is
They're not running the
depressing.
game anytime
It's
soon.
gonna rest everybody. All the stars are gonna align, and they're gonna win a game.
All right,
And then
Toronto
they'll
on the
start their
board.
own.
Can you,
and then
can
they'll
you
start
imagine
their own
that celebration? Do you celebrate that?
No.
Or like,
No.
what's the vibe when you win a game for the first time in 2.5 months?
You make a banner like the Lakers did for the in-season tournament, and you hang that joint.
I don't hate
Water
Yeah.
showers everywhere. Cover the lockers up.
Then a new streak is gonna start after Toronto.
I feel bad laughing. That's that. We're gotten to that point of the show. That's sad, actually. All right, Lou, you're next. Ja Morant is a top what player in the league?
Ja Morant is without a doubt a top 10 player in this league. You know, I would say 5, but there's been a lot of guys this year that's been putting in the work that deserve those spots. You know, Ja Morant, he knocked his own sandcastle down, and so he's in a rebuild right now. He's doing a great job. 4-0 right now, still hooping, playing at a high level, but he got fresh legs, so I'm still going to give him top 10 in the league.
All right, 10 seems fair. We could argue that one. Chandler, a star player that will be traded before the deadline will be.
It's got to be Zach LaVine, right? They're not
You'd think.
playing. He's not playing. The team's looking kind of good without him. There's all these rumors about going to LA. LA or not, he's getting traded from Chicago.
Okay, Zach LaVine, that seems good. Lou, the Suns will win how many titles with the Big Three if we ever see them?
0.
Damn. Really? Wait,
they
didn't
can't
we
get-
do this like a
they-
week ago and we thought it was like 1? Nothing.
Yeah, things change. Things change fast. Things change rapidly. This team can't get healthy. They can't get healthy, and they're not deep enough to survive that type of thing. And so, even at the level that Devin Booker and Kevin Durant's playing, it's not enough with this basketball team. They don't have the depth that's coming off the bench that's needed. And Bradley Beal is sorely needed in this team for them to be successful. So, you know, they're fighting to stay alive right now. I feel like they'll get it together, but I think by the time that the chemistry kicks in, other teams are going to be rolling. So I'm going 0.
It just seems sour watching them play. The body language is bad. There's no good.
Something is off. Yeah, something is off.
To write them off, but yeah, something's not adding up with this team.
Well, it probably sucks when you think you're getting one thing and then you get something totally different. Like, that's got to be hard to keep morale up. But like you said, Bradley Beal, hopefully he gets healthy. Chandler, if you could start a franchise with one player, it would be.
That dude in San Antonio, Michelle. I'm going Victor Wembanyama. You put good players. Picture him on any other team that besides the Pistons. Like, you know what I mean? Put him on a good team with vets and with shooters and another. Put him on the Thunder. Can you imagine? I'm going with him. He's going to be the face of the franchise in less than 3 years. He's an absolute stud.
They've won just enough games for us to be quiet about them.
I know. I'm just sitting here quietly like, shh. Okay. It's okay. It's a process. Lou, blank will be the team with the most wins at the end of the regular season.
Boston Celtics will be the team with the most wins at the end of this season. Playing the most consistent. They have a pretty good identity with how the style of play that they're going to play. Clear pecking order of who's the best players on that team, who are the role players, who's going to defend, who's going to make big shots, who's going to do what. They have it all figured out. The Boston Celtics will be the most successful team when it comes to regular season wins this year.
Ooh, therefore increasing the pressure to win it all. I get it. I like it. Chandler, if you had to choose one player to hit a game winner to save your life, we just got real dark. It would be
Steph Curry. I'm going the best shooter.
Curry.
Yeah, like I'm
to save your life. Yeah.
And I will live with it if he misses it. But yeah, I got to go with
No, you won't.
To go. Yeah, I guess I won't live.
You won't at all.
I'm putting the ball in his hands to save me, and hopefully it works out.
I like it. I can't imagine anyone else I'd pick there. Lou, with Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks would win how many championships?
Let me use my other eye this time.
Diversity.
Hello. Not
Why?
happening. Not
Why?
happening. It's just not enough to compete at a high level. You start seeing the signs very early, and I don't think Donovan Mitchell is the guy that gets this group to present day over that hump. So I don't see it.
All right, fair enough. So then they got to come up with something else. All right, both of y'all get this one. The best NBA city to go out in is Chandler. You
Please.
first. Is it?
I think Miami.
Miami,
but maybe-
Florida.
Yeah, I think it's not LA. It's not LA. Even though I love Frankie Delgado and I love Hyde nightclub, it's been my go-to spot for 10 years. Everything closes at 2. I'm going Miami. You can go till the sun comes up. There's always somewhere nice to eat. There's action everywhere. It's not even close to me. It's Miami.
It's New York, but I guess
I won't elaborate. Chandler said it all. Miami.
it's not even close though.
I get in
really?
trouble for these type of things.
Better weather, warmer. It's and it's just the best.
Worse.
Miami
no,
is
just
the
kidding.
only city we get directly off the plane into the car. No team bus. So we're getting in the car from the plane.
Wait, seriously?
Might even take your own plane to get there 30 minutes earlier than the team if you're going. To Miami.
You guys are the two worst people I've ever known.
Miami by far. It's a long, far shot. Miami.
I love that so much. All right, I was going to ask you the worst one because we've already been in enough trouble over the course of the years. All right, I feel like we're almost done here, but I have no idea what's going on because there's nothing in my ears. We're going to go to break. All right, that's twice for me. The next one, I die. We'll be back.
Running back, yeah. Run it up. The running back, yeah, yeah. Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
Oh man, I love ending the show on a little fitter break. Christmas edition. We'll start. That man's
like
gonna
that?
save your life. It looks like it's too big,
Awful. Awful.
right? Like it's large. Devin Booker, what do you
I'm
got?
gonna give this
okay.
a brick.
Wait, Steph and Devin?
Yeah, give
boring.
both of them bricks.
What is this? Let's see it,
Derek
Derek.
White Christmas.
Derek White is just
This is on brand. I'm going fit.
exactly. He's not trying to be anybody
yeah.
else. I like it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I like
Yeah, Smooth. That's a fit right there, Smooth.
Velvet.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett.
turtleneck. Yeah, I like this
Okay,
too.
I don't hate it. I
Okay.
don't hate it.
Frank Lucas.
Kayla Martin
Frank
to finish
Lucas
things
with the
off.
pink.
Perfect. We'll be back tomorrow. You hate Christmas.